Hello friends, we are going to talk about the perspectives for the Aries sign in the year 2019. More precisely, this will work out for those who have Sun or Ascendant in the sign of Aries, but will also, to a certain degree, it will work out for those who have Moon in Aries, or eventually for those who have many planets in Aries sign. Then this what I'm going to speak about will affect them also. About the year 2019, you can also watch my other video. The name is Year 2019, Just Another Step. And this video is a general overview of the year 2019. You will see there that I speak about this year as a preparation for some big events that will come in the year 2020. Why do I say that? Well, because in the year 2020 there are going to be 3 big conjunctions in the Capricorn sign, and those conjunctions will influence us all. But this does not mean that we will not live during the year 2019 and that we are going only to wait for the 2020. Of course, during both of those years, we will have many things to do. So in this video, I'm not going to speak generally about the year 2019, but I would like to mention here one thing. The world polarizes more and more, and by saying that, I do not think about political polarization. That is obvious as well. But here I mean more about the polarization that is happening, let's say it inside us, but it happens also on the micro plane and micro plane. So inside of us, but this is something that influences all world we live in. And of course, when polarization happens, one has to choose the side. So what this polarization is about? It is about that we feel that we more and more need to choose between mind and consciousness. This is what Indian philosophy speaks a lot about. Mind is something that can always be manipulated. And it's true that many people manipulate and many people are manipulated by others and they don't mind. And on the other side are people who work on widening their consciousness. They're more and more conscious, and they're looking for the truth with the big letter T. And between those groups, there is going to be big polarization in the years to come. And I'm saying this is not happening individually in each person, but it's happening globally for the whole world. And in the time as it is this one, when we are more confused perhaps about that, where to go and which side to choose and how to orientate in the future, then astrology of course can be a very useful instrument to help us to learn more about ourselves. But I would like to stress here also that astrology is only a map. So it is the map that we use for the orientation. It's never everything written there on the map, and it should not be. I'm saying it's only for the orientation, yeah? So when you listen to the video, like it is this one, be inspired. You know, when you listen to the video, be curious about that, what new can come. Maybe you did not understand some of the possibilities you have. So in that sense, video can inspire you. But do not hold on my words tightly, because finally everything is up to you. You can choose how you will react to certain transits. Many people ask me also whether they should listen to their sun sign. Let's say they have sun in Aries, but they are Gemini ascendant. The answer is listen to the both of those interpretations and make some combination. So let's say what Aries people can expect. What is going to happen with Aries people during the year 2019? Which area of their life will be stressed, let's say? Well, for Aries people as well as for all other cardinal signs, and they are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. There are going to happen big things in 2019 and 2020 as well. Because when something happened in one of the cardinal signs, you know, because there is a cross between them, they're connected. And if one thing happens here, then it influences this and this and this, and you know, and when things are happening in cardinal signs, the circle moves, the energy starts moving, and then in that case, all areas of their lives will be actually influenced by transit, will change, will go through some even tremendous changes during those 2 years. So Aries people will have during the year 2019 Jupiter in the ninth astrological house, and Jupiter will also be in its oven sign, in Sagittarius sign. And this is something like double luck. So Aries people are potentially very lucky. They can be lucky in the matters about going abroad and having contacts with foreign people, learning from foreign cultures. Those who are interested in philosophy or some higher knowledge, or scientists, can learn a lot, or maybe can present what they do in the best possible way. Many people will gain some interesting knowledge that will widen their conscience and broaden their mind. Maybe, I mean, both things can be. And um, and it's also, of course, excellent transit to make plans for the future, to have visions, and to be positively inspired about future life. It's a positive time for everything almost. It is simply Jupiter in the house of luck. But Jupiter will be tested by Neptune for Aries people, as Jupiter will stay in the ninth house and Neptune will be in the 12th. So they are going to make a square. And there are going to be three periods, well, at least three periods during the year 2019, when Aries people will doubt. They will have doubts about that, whether they have a good plan, whether they have the biggest knowledge that they could have. Can they trust themselves? Who they really trust? Do they trust in their future plans? This will be tested. In some way, they can self-sabotage themselves. If you are doing this, you can order Theta Healing with me or people who are doing this. And because Theta Healing helps people to remove programs that stops them to achieve what they want to achieve. And 12th house, where Neptune is the self-sabotage house. For example, that can be the reason. Or there are going to be periods of some sort of confusion, but shortly, of course. Jupiter will do its job in the best way, I'm sure. Then Aries people also have other transits that are extraordinary, absolutely. First of all, they had Pluto in the 10th house since the 2008. And some Aries felt this in 2008, some felt Pluto more in 2010, 12, 14. Depends on which degrees they have. They have EMC. This is the beginning of the 10th house. So in different periods, different Aries felt Pluto in the 10th house, and that is quite scary energy. Some maybe lost a parent, or maybe had troubles with the money, or they met people who were scaring them and making them to be afraid. Maybe they had problems with bosses, maybe they could not achieve what they wanted, and they had to transform their ideas, their careers, and so on. Pluto can be quite destructive in the 10th house, and it can even destroy other areas of life that are on this cardinal cross. But also Pluto can be very transformative, and it was. Many Aries people transformed dramatically in the last years. And what is interesting now in 2019, it already started in 2018, it will continue in 2019 and 2020. Now Saturn will go through the same degrees where Pluto was in the previous years. And what Pluto destroyed and transformed, Saturn will make these areas of life, or these matters, Saturn will make stronger. So Saturn is excellent in the 10th house in his own Capricorn sign, and it can help to many Aries to achieve a lot. Many Aries people will even feel that they achieved the highest point in their lives. Many will be strong and become authorities, and even accept that they lead other people. They become authority for others. This also will mean for many of Aries people that they abandon their authorities. They can be father, mother authority, or a boss, or any person who was their authority in the past. They can abandon this authority and then become authorities themselves. Saturn in the 10 is excellent. It helps people to build new structures for the future, especially about career and job matters, but generally about life. It helps people to be more rational, more responsible, more makes them stronger inside, and gives them it gives them some. Saturn actually promises to all Aries people in the 10th house that they will have excellent results if they work for them. Saturn will even have sextiles with Neptune, that is in the 12th house, as I mentioned, and this is a very good aspect. So this means that Aries people will understand, if they work hard, if they are objective and strong enough, then they will not be afraid of anything what is coming. They will not be afraid of their own thoughts, or they will not sabotage themselves, as we said before. There was a danger of it. So Saturn is excellent here. So I hope Aries will do maximum what they can with this transit. That actually happens once in 30 years, so it is a really extraordinary time for them. In some period during the year 2019, Aries people will feel Ketu in the 10th, each Aries in different days and months. And Aries, Ketu in the 10th house, we call it South Lunar Node in the 10th house, can actually make some Aries confused whether for them is important to make career, or they're going to go opposite direction towards the 4th house, and they're going to work on their family. They will buy properties, they will move house, they will try to help family members, they will maybe buy a new house, they will invest energy and money into their family. So many Aries will actually feel that they are not sure what is more important, which area of life. Family and this inner life, their emotional life, and something that is very private, or it will be more important for that to achieve things in public or through their career. Well, the best thing for Aries people will be to go both directions, not to leave for some future time any of those directions. Both directions should work well. Maybe not with the same intensity during the 2019 or 2020. Maybe there are going to be months when they will devote their energy more to one area and then to other. But the key thing is to work through both of those areas. Mars is going to be direct during all year 2019, and that's excellent for Aries. They will be strong, they will go and achieve what they need to do. There is not going to happen anything special that will make them to think twice or go back. Mars is going to be especially strong for Aries people in January and February because it is going to be in their own sign. And that's a good news for Aries people. Use this Martian energy to achieve what you want, and you will know how to do it. I'm sure almost. We already mentioned lunar nodes, or Rahu and Ketu. They're on this axis, the 10th and the 4th astrological house, and they are tightly connected with eclipses. This year is quite special in that matter that we are going to have eclipses in January, then in July, and we are also going to have an eclipse in the December of the 2019. So like 3 seasons of eclipses. In December there is going to happen only one eclipse, but still it is going to happen. So most of those eclipses are happening for Aries people on this 10/4 houses axis, means career and home, that we already talked about. But there is one eclipse, the last one, that will happen in the 5th astrological house. It is going to happen in the sign of Leo. And for Aries people, this eclipse, it is happening in January. This eclipse will need to solve something more that Aries were already dealing about. And that is connected with their investments. It can be for some Aries. They can invest and get a lot of money, or they can invest and lose, perhaps. I'm not really sure. I think mainly Aries will gain through this. This will be the sign of gaining money, but I'm not sure, of course. Pardon, because everything depends on a personal horoscope. Definitely is going to be some change about investments for those who are interested in that. Then those who have children, there are going to be changes in relation to kids. And people, Aries people who are interested in self-realization, who are interested to do things that they like, that they love, and that they do with the whole heart, because they identify with that something that is creative part of themselves. Many of Aries will start doing that from the 2019 and on, if they did not start it earlier in this 2018, 2017. These are years where many Aries people are deciding what they need to do to feel completely happy and content, and how they can use actually their love even in professional life. The strongest eclipse during 2019 is going to happen in Cancer. It is the fourth house for Aries. It will be on the 2nd of July. And for many Aries people, this will mean big change in a family life, or about their roots. They will change maybe their attitude towards roots, or they will go through some big emotional changes where they will understand better what do they need to feel emotionally content. Uranus will be for Aries people in the 2nd astrological house. Uranus will stay there until the year 2026. And during those years, many Aries, it depends for each Aries person in a different time. So they will understand financial matters in a new way, completely new way. I don't know which way that will be, but it will be completely different from that what Aries understood about finances before. Their attitude towards finances will change. It is possible that they will also change that what they value. Some Aries valued money, some valued adventurous things, some Aries value aesthetic goods, some value family, some Aries value liberty, their own liberty more than anything else. They want to feel free. And this, what they value the most, will be changed in the years to come. But it is, even if we speak, it is the 2nd house is the house of values, then this is definitely the house where we see, first of all, material life. So it is connected with that. What do we eat? Do we have a place where to hide when it's cold weather, and this kind of things? Do we have home? Do we have everything that we need to satisfy our bodily needs? So Aries people will understand what do they have in this position, what they can use to satisfy their bodily needs. So which knowledge they have that they can use and sell to have money, and later on to buy a house. They will understand better how much time they use for the money, how much energy they use to gain some money, and they will learn to make new calculations about those matters. As we mentioned, Neptune will, for Aries people, stay in the 12th astrological year, a house. It is there now, and it is going to stay for a few years more. I would like to say here that Aries should be careful about alcohol. They should not drink more alcohol with this. They should not take any drugs, of course. They should be careful about medicines that they take. The best way to deal with this transit is to develop spiritual life and to learn perhaps about some, let's say, alternative methods of healing. Because Aries can, by learning this, they can heal themselves and maybe later heal even others. With this aspect, some will have this feeling of disappointment, perhaps, or even some other negative feelings. And this is subconsciously. This is not something that Aries people can identify easily, but it is there, and they should work with this. I'm saying through some alternative methods. And that's all more or less about Aries people. If you wish to learn more about those transits that I mentioned here, if you wish to learn in details about, for example, Jupiter in Sagittarius, have a look at my 2 videos that I have about this transit. I also have a video about Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn. Then there are 3 videos on YouTube about Uranus in Taurus. Then there is a video about Neptune in Pisces, also about lunar nodes on Cancer Capricorn axis. And as I mentioned before, you can watch a video year 2019, just another step. You can have a look at those videos during the next year, during the year 2019, and be inspired. Try to orientate, try to understand intuitively which energy you have in this position. Many people ask me, do I teach astrology or not? I do not teach astrology still. You can order consultancy with me and ask any question if you have a question about astrology, about how astrology works. I'm going to have lessons on astrology, but for now in Czech and Serbian language. So maybe in the future they're going to be in English as well. I would like to say to all astrology lovers that it's not enough to learn astrology from the books, astrology books. You should work with people, try to study horoscopes by yourself, and of course you should be interested in many other sciences if you wish to understand astrology, as it is philosophy, psychology, mythology, and others, to see how universe works as much as you can, of course. You can't learn everything, definitely, but to learn as much as you want. So at my webpage is symbolicthinking.net. You can see which types of consultancy I offer. There are consultancy based on astrology, feng shui, and theta healing. Feel free to order. You can also follow my posts in English on Facebook. I'm glad for your interaction. If you like the video, please do not forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. To all Aries people, I wish to shine during the year 2019. Nothing less than that. Be shiny.